You know, you had a challenging beginning.
Yeah.
There's a number of challenges that happen along the way. Tell us about sort of how you got from there to that transition moment where at 36 you said, no, something's got to get going.
So I really did have this sort of aha moment at first when I was 21, and it was a reverse aha moment. It was more like a moment. What am I going to do? Because now I have a child coming and I have to be responsible for more than just myself. So that was scary in and of itself. And then I think because looking back, I'd made consistent mistakes with relationships and people throughout the years. I think that by the time I was 36 and now going through a divorce with 3 kids, I was at a place where I really had to make an absolute decision about the rest of my life. In other words, I had to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, okay, let's look back. It's been tough. You graduated from high school, you didn't have a plan, and you've lived the rest of your life as if you've had no plan. But now you have a failing marriage, not 1, but 3 kids that you're going to feed. Is this really what you want for your life? And at some point I had to look in the mirror and say, no, I really want my life to be about something greater than what it is. And so when the opportunity to start my own business at 36 came about, I snatched it. I knew that if I didn't do it then, I'd never do it.
And what, along the way, you know, you start your business at 36. We deal with an awful lot of independent businesses, and probably the most common thing that they see is there's no smooth ride. You don't start the business and then the first milestone gets hit and the second milestone and the third milestone, and it's all sunshine and butterflies and everything goes beautifully. You know, my guess is after that epiphany where you said, no, I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to build this for myself, it didn't go just like that every step of the way. What kind of adversity did you deal with, and how did you see the light at the end of that new tunnel?
This is a very interesting story, actually. This is probably one of those things that you'll never expect for me to say. When I decided I was going to start the business was right around the same time I knew that my marriage was done and I needed to make an instant departure. And so I was able to kind of finagle, get a little apartment. And when I say a little apartment, I mean 4 people, 600 square feet. It was technically a 2-bedroom apartment. I think the bedrooms were 10 by 10.
So a lot of time for family bonding.
Oh, lots of quality time, yes. I had my 2 babies in 1 bedroom and my daughter in another bedroom, and I set up the living room as my bedroom. That's sort of what I did. The moment, though, that I had separated myself from my marriage, I knew that for me, a huge part of my entrepreneurship and this journey for me was going to include welfare. And so I happily marched myself down to the Gary Welfare Department and set myself in a chair and said, I want it all. Give it to me. I want everything. I want the food stamps, and I want the card, and I want the insurance card, and I want the daycare services. And the lady behind the desk said, you do know that this is a welfare office, right? You're awfully happy. But I knew that that's exactly what I needed. I knew I just needed a little bit of help to really kind of be able to spend the time and the effort that I needed to put the work in that I needed to start the business. Now I know this is sounding a little crazy, but bear with me here for a second. So they give me the card, I get home, I can fill up the fridge with food. And because I can, and because now I can take the kids and I can drop them off at the daycare and the state is helping me, I knew that I could utilize that time to absolutely build the business. And that's exactly what I did.
So yours is a perfect example of somebody that needs a step up, not a handout.
That's right. Which is why for me, giving back is so important, because I felt like when I needed the state of Indiana, they were there for me.